Hey everyone, I'm Manuel and this is the presentation for the Module 2 programming in which I'm going to speak about what I have learned in working with Sprint 1, 2, and 3. I will start speaking about me and the team in which I have worked. I will continue with some reflective thought about this, what developed during the Sprint 1 and 2, and then I will focus on Sprint 3, the methodology we have followed, and some reflective thought. As I said, I am a nurse. I also study a biology degree. I found bioinformatics quite very fascinating, so I decided to study a master in bioinformatics, and currently now I am doing the STP, so I am a clinical bioinformatician working in the genomics pathway. During the Sprint 1 and 2, I have to say that it was a very it was a completely new experience for me. I have never worked in a team doing programming before, especially remotely. So it was a very positive experience in which I made a first contact and I put in practice the agile methodology. It was also new to me to use GitHub. During the Sprint 1 and 2, with regard to the basic programming, this experience was very formative because I was probably the member of the team with less experience in programming. So it was very interesting how to see members contribute with different perspectives to the same task. They showed me different ways to solve a problem that I have not considered before. So now let's speak about the user history. The problem was, or I found months ago, I found in the genomics lab in which I am working that some clinical scientists store variant in Excel file, and they come to us, to my supervisor and me, for asking for some help because they weren't unable to analyze this information because incompatibility with regard to the format. So I took this issue as a project for this module, and after some discussion with my supervisor, the teachers in this module, we decided to create an interface to allow the staff, the clinical scientists, to convert the Excel file, a comma separated value file, into a variant called format file. The script will identify the most common variant ID, and I will correct some error found using an input, using IP request. We decided to do that because we noticed that because the clinical scientists have been storing variant for years, we noticed that there is data that is not up to date, such as the gym name, for example. The benefit I think within this project could help clinical staff without no strong skill in bioinformatics to convert their data in a more suitable and up-to-date format. We have split this project in different stages. The minimum viable product for this assessment will be to create a program that performs this conversion using the terminal. We have the philosophy or the methodology we have followed have been to try to satisfy the necessity of the clinical scientists. Working with them, I took the opportunity to show them every week the product. That was very productive because we learned exactly what they really need or want. This frequent delivery of working software allow us to apply changing and increase product functionality according to the needs of the customer. An example of this can be, for example, one of the weeks we realized that at the beginning of the project, we thought that all clinical scientists stored the variant in the same genome building. In the middle of the project, we realized that that is not true. Some of the clinical scientists are using currently the new genome building, the 38. So we add some modification in the script last week ago. We add a question in the execution of the script in which we ask what genome building the user will use, and we also, in a second question, we ask for in which the kind of output the clinical scientist wants. So we noticed after that our program can be also used as a genome building convert. Working with the other member of my team, um, we didn't think in any methodology in any organization. So this organization became like a natural. It was like a natural process. We have found that what is our best way to work. So we explain here very shortly. We decided to never work in the same task at the same time. It was a waste of time. Normally, the natural development of the project was we normally focus each other in different improvement. We put a deadline, and then we test the script each other. I tested her code, and he tested mine. We have a meeting, some discussion, and finally we add the improvement that we decide the best. We come back to the clinical scientists to see if that is what they need, and then start again. That was basically our methodology. And I would like to give you a specific suggestion. We noticed that it's really, really important to explain properly the code you use. Here, I have created an example for you. You can see in both pictures the same code, but in the left, we can see a more meaningful code that with consistent name, exactly the same, but in the right, the idea of the script is more difficult to get, but both are. I have created a dictionary using two different lists. That's it. Here I wanted to show you how two different scripts can be well explained, or can be just simple code. And finally, I would like to speak a little bit about the tools we have used. For sure, we use Python to develop the projects, to share the code. We use GitHub. We also use Jupyter Notebook to explain when we needed to explain the code to other people or to us. But for sure, we use so many different resources. I cannot tell you all of them. For communication between the other member and me, we use WhatsApp. But I think in the future, in which we probably face project more complex projects, I think the best tool to use for communication purpose is Slack, because you can see if you decide to use email, you lost information. I have realized that. So we suggest to use for communication Slack. And that's it. Thank you so much for listening to me, and see you next time. Bye.